Hey, how you doing there again, folks? You get a course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I'll go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about the stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I just reviewed basically the sister product to this one, but we're just going to go with this. We're just going to keep rolling with it since I had both of them. But anyway, folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for today, folks? Well, it happens to be my Bloodywood shirt. I love this shirt. It's so cool. This was from their 9-inch non-tour shirt. If you're unfamiliar with Bloodywood, they're a band out of New Delhi, India. Blend elements of metal and nu metal and Indian folk, and they're a very interesting experience. They sort of classified themselves as Indian street metal. They probably closest just come into as being basically sort of a very interesting nu metal band, because they do have that combination of harsh vocals and rap lyrics and stuff. I love these guys so much, though. I've been a huge fan of their stuff, pretty much since they started kind of breaking out. And I've been fortunate. They've toured the U.S. twice now, and I've been able to see them both times. I always make them a priority. That's where I got this shirt. I also went over there, took some videos of their performance that I attended. Those videos are on this channel as well, just in case maybe you want to check out what their live show is like. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction, because I think they're a phenomenal band. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, like I said, I just got through reviewing a product that happens to be, boom! It is the Starbucks Frappuccino with oat milk. This was the caramel waffle cookie flavor. Go look up that video. But they don't just have one flavor. No, indeed. Because they have another oat milk flavor. It happens to be, boom! What is it? This is their dark chocolate brownie flavor. Again, with oat milk. So first of all, let's get a thing for the thing. It looks like this. It's like, cool. And yeah, let's go ahead and let's give this a go. I bought these at the same time. They'd been sitting in my fridge for a few days, and I woke up about 45 minutes ago at the time I'm doing this, and was like, I could use something to help wake me up a little bit. Yeah, okay. It's got kind of a mocha frappuccino smell. Makes sense. Oh, shit, son. Okay. I see what you did there. Yeah, man, okay, so I kind of was a little bit worried that basically this was just going to end up being like a mocha frappuccino, but I was like, nah, okay, Starbucks, say what you want about them. They typically put some decent effort into their products, and especially since this is going to be, out on store shelves and stuff like that. It's like, all right, okay. As soon as I went over there and got that first swig down, it was like, okay, this is so much more than just a normal mocha frappuccino. The one element I'm going to bring up immediately is the oat milk element, because I'm sure it's probably something that, some people might be like, oat milk? I am not an expert on oat milk or anything, but I will say this. I personally like oat milk when it's applied to coffee drinks. I usually, if I'm asked, I'll usually go whole milk. I could really go either way, but I genuinely do like oat milk as an add-in to, again, certain things and stuff. It's nice. It adds like a nice sort of creamy texture to it. It's not like a huge jarring difference from, again, like a more, conventional milk, actual milk, let's be honest. So all it does for me is, like I said, just adds in a nice creamy texture, and I personally like it. So, but as to the actual flavor itself, that is rich and chocolatey. Rich and chocolatey, man. That is, the Starbucks That is the Starbucks Mocha Frappuccino taken to another level. It's got a deeper, darker flavor. It's got that dark chocolate aspect to it. So it's a little extra bitter, but it's got so much more depth to it. And it tastes decadent. And yeah, I mean, they're calling it a dark chocolate brownie, and it's like, I get it. I get where they're coming from with it. That is, yes, I think this is super good. And it really does sort of, kind of hedge between the elements of the sweet and the bitter, and it works really nice personally. I mean, I actually really like dark chocolate, but needs to be used in the right circumstances. And when it comes to coffee drinks, I like coffee adjacent stuff. I like things where it doesn't taste too much like coffee, but I still want it to be a coffee experience. And I think that in this regard, that works out really well. It just, that dark chocolate aspect, it's got the sweet elements to it, it's got the bitterness elements to it, and, it basically plays with the rest of the stuff that's in the coffee, where, again, you've got sweeter elements, you've got, those bitter elements. So it's really nice. And then it just, again, that chocolate flavor is just so much deeper than like the normal mocha, and just, oh, that's really good. That is, yes. I am very down with that. That hits in such a nice way. And it just kind of ends itself off with just kind of a slight bitter note. And I like that because it goes from being, again, just this very sort of decadent, deep flavor to sort of at the end, that little hit of bitterness. It's almost like a palate cleanser at the end. That's really good. But two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I mean, I personally am going to go with yes and sort of yes. So between the waffle and the brownie, I kind of had the same reaction to both. And I'm just going to say right now, between the two, I personally think the dark chocolate brownie I like more than I like the waffle, but I like both of them sort of for different reasons. I think both are really good. But yeah, that dark chocolate, man, that hit so hard. But for me personally, I really like both these drinks. But that dark chocolate, like I said, not only does it just hit, but I was surprised at, again, just the level of depth that it had. And, just drinking it just felt naughty. It's like, yes, I'm, getting away with something, because it just, and I appreciate the fact that, it is, again, it's just taking, familiar flavor, that mocha kind of aspect, and just elevating it, giving it more dimension, fleshing it out a little bit to make an even more exciting experience. And I really like it. But if I'm recommending it to people, it's kind of the same thing as with the waffle one, where it's like, the reasons that I like it are absolutely going to be the reasons why some people don't like it. It is very defined in its flavors, and it's not like a neutral drink. So, if you're not into dark chocolate, you're not going to like it. If you don't want that sort of, kind of, because it is, with the decadent and stuff like, or decadent aspect to it, it's a little bit of a heavier drink. Probably not going to be your thing if, you're looking for a lighter experience. So, it's not going to be for everybody, but I will say, give it a shot. I think it's a really good drink. And, the one thing that I mentioned with the other one was, don't let the oat milk aspect sway you against it. Because I can almost promise you, it's not going to be a difference maker really one way or the other. It does change the experience a little bit, but not to like such a noticeable degree that I think you're going to take issue with it. It's more something that if you would like it, you'll notice it and probably enjoy it, versus if you don't like it, you're probably not going to notice. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year, folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly oat milk-tastic rest of your life. Because again, I mean, look, I'm more of a classical milk person, the classical genre. I'm a milk hipster, I like their older material. But at the same time, I appreciate oat milk, and I think it's nice that it's available as not only a substitute for people who might need it as a substitute, but for just people who enjoy it. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But What you do if you can't do it all the time? I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, you know, I'm not going to ask your opinion on Starbucks Frappuccino because I did that in the previous video. What's your personal opinion on just like in general, like the more flavored coffee beverages? Like, what's your coffee preference? Because, you know, like I said, I've explained mine. I'm not a big traditional coffee person, but obviously there's plenty of people who are. But kind of where do you fall on it? You know, how do you take your coffee? You know, what are the things that you like or dislike about different coffees? Because, like, I mean, I review stuff, but, like, I don't know shit about coffee, you know. I just drink or eat the what the fuck ever, and I just give you my little basic bitch opinion. So I'd be interested, you know, if any of my viewers out there are big coffee fans, you know, if you have strong opinions one way or another. But anyway,